You are Locked On Heat POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Heat fans, and welcome to another episode of your Heat POSTCAST. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. How about the dramatic pause there? GRIES at Jim Grease _ on social media, where you probably don't feel like being all that social tonight. Why do the Heat always play like crap against the worst teams in the league, and at home too, as they succumb to the inability to put the ball in the hole in the second and third quarters tonight? They couldn't come back enough late to overdo the damage or undo the damage or whatever you want to do to the damage. The damage, it had been done. 116-107 the final tonight at the Kaseya Center on Pat Riley Court. The Heat hustled hard. They played hard. They contested shots. They were doing the best they could, really. But no Tyler Herro. First game of the season, Tyler missed, had groin tightness. We've all been there. If you played ball, that is not something for a shooter and a driver, and the movements of playing defense. I mean, a stroined grain, as we used to say, that'll give you a little bit of a problem. So Tyler becomes the last Heat regular to miss a game this season. So every regular has missed a game this year. And one more note before we really kick it into overdrive and get going here with the Heat POSTCAST. Yeah, Bam Adebayo, Khalil Ware, Killer K, and bam, how about that combo? They started together for the first time. Now, remember, they started the second half the other day against Wemby in San Antonio when they waxed the Spurs. Well, tonight, we saw history and what we believe. Those in the know, those within the organization, very high on Khalil Ware at 7'1", the athleticism. Of course, the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year at Indiana. Now he can shoot the three. Very quick and athletic, and we see Bam playing away from the basket. But, hold on. You see, anyone? Bueller? Has anybody seen Jimmy Butler? Where is he? Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy. Wait, where's Jimmy? Man, come on, 50+ million. You got to be better than that. Jimmy Butler. This is your Heat POSTCAST. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. We're free wherever you listen to your podcast, as well as here on YouTube, Locked On Sports Miami, and where you might listen to your podcast. Oh, I don't know, maybe Spotify, maybe Apple Podcasts. You've heard of Apple, right? And how about this? Stitcher, Podbean, even iHeart, like I Heart You. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And tonight's episode is sponsored by Prizepicks, and you know how much I love Prizepicks, because now is the perfect time to join. Download the app today. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. All you have to do is play your first $5 lineup. You get $50 instantly. That's right. No need to win to get the bonus. It's guaranteed at Prizepicks. Run your game. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease. The Heat going to play some games on the road here coming up. You're going to Milwaukee. You're going to Brooklyn. Where Brooklyn at? You know what I'm saying? Well, Brooklyn's nowhere either, for that matter. And that's not a shot at Brooklyn. That's just where Brooklyn is on the basketball court these days. Imagine that when they had KD and Kyrie and James Harden with, oh, my Lord, Steve Nash coaching that team. And you thought, like, Steve Nash was going to be a great coach because you bought into how overrated he was as a player and thought he could be a coach. And, you know, it's funny how guys like Steve Nash and J.J. Redick can just get jobs with no head coaching experience. But, oh, my God, what? They're the same color as I am. Is that a coincidence? I don't know. I don't want to say anything. All I know is these guys didn't have to get other jobs and go through the system. And it didn't work out so well for Steve Nash. Not working out so well for J.J. Redick. All right, 116-107, the final. The Heat gets smoked tonight. And really what the story was in this game, hot to ice cold for Miami. I mean, they got Simonized. I was going to put that. Simons says and does, but I don't know how many of you would know Simonized. You got Simonized, right? That's a car wax, or used to be a car wax, but lots of my references are old now, just like me. I had my 53rd birthday on Friday. I ain't had no job. I ain't had nothing to do except celebrate my birthday and turn 53. And now my references, I'm just double checking them. I'm almost stopping them as they come out of my mouth because I feel like nobody gets them anymore, these new generations. But a nice 21-8 run for Miami late in the fourth. They played a great first quarter. We're up 38-34 at the end of one. But the second and third quarters combined, are you ready? Outscored 63-39 by Portland. And Miami, after starting 7 for 9 from three, finished the second and third quarters 2 for 24 from downtown. And that, just so you know, is not going to get the job done. Kel'el Ware played a brilliant game for Miami, 20 points and 16 boards, starting alongside Bam. I was looking for Jimmy. You know, Bam's only 6'9", too. Like, where was Bam in the second half? Bam played well in the first half. Bam and Ware combined had 20 and 12 together in the first half, but, you know, only 6 turnovers in the game for Portland, and DeAndre Ayton shot 78.6% and owned the glass, especially the offensive boards tonight. This is the DeAndre Ayton. And go figure, he plays like this in Miami. This is the numbskull who the Phoenix Suns drafted number 1 over Luka Doncic. Now, think about that. If you're a Phoenix Suns fan, you've already hung yourself. It's a wrap. Doc say it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. So the Suns finally decided with Monty Williams, they had enough of DeAndre Ayton, pretty much the coach killer, got Monty fired. Hey, Monty's not complaining. He went to Detroit for $1 gajillion, right? Anywho, can't believe I just said that. But DeAndre Ayton played like the DeAndre Ayton, if you remember the pick and rolls with Chris Paul. If you remember the 2021 trip to the NBA Finals by the Phoenix Suns where they lost to the Milwaukee Bucks, DeAndre Ayton gave that entire fan base hope. But then after that, he played so piss poor, they sent him to Portland. I mean, you know you're in the literal doghouse. Someone's doghouse. Someone hates your guts if they trade you. There's few cities in the NBA. You get traded there, they hate you. Portland's at the top of that list. Who the hell would ever want to live in Portland? I'm about to get stuff thrown at me because my lady and her parents love that city and they live there for a long time. But as far as NBA players, right? You're young, you're in your 20s, you got gajillions of dollars. See the TrailBlazers with Rashweed Wallace and Damon, Stoudemire and all those guys. Remember he got busted with the weed and the tinfoil in the airport. So, yeah, I mean, the TrailBlazers. But what else are you going to do in Portland? It's like OKC. Can you imagine? That's a fate. I mean, not quite worse than death, but it's NBA death. It's purgatory. If you can't save your money living in Oklahoma City or Portland, playing in the NBA, I'll throw Minnesota in there, Minneapolis. You know what I'm saying? It's just not the same since Prince is gone, and it never has been a major city. Prince put it on the map and kept it on the map. Other than that, maybe you had a Kirby Puckett Twins team here or a Kevin Garnett there. One of the most underrated players of all time, by the way. Shout out KG. But Minnesota, OKC, yeah, man, and Portland are at the tops of that. Now, Orlando sucks. I mean, just you're Miami, Orlando sucks. The Magic are free-falling, like Tom Petty writing the song. But you know what? It wouldn't be fun living in Orlando, although no state tax in Florida, and, you're close enough to the beaches. You're an hour away. Shaq loved living there. When you're young, it's Orlando. A lot of young people love it, Orlando, but you know what I mean? Like the humidity, all the bugs, the tolls everywhere. Tollando. I mean, you spend half your money on tolls living in Orlando, and the neighbors to the north. Come on, keep your Mickey Mouse and your alligators and all that crap. Anyway, when I think of cities you don't want to be in the NBA, but when I think of cities you do want to be in, you're thinking Miami, you're thinking Atlanta, you're thinking New York, you're thinking LA, thinking Dallas for sure. You're thinking Vegas when and if they get a team, and I think LeBron will own that team. But anyway, I digress. But Miami with a late run. Jaquez Jr. scored a couple of points late in that run. Pelle Larsson, and I thought this was telling. It was a very telling moment in the game. And they mentioned that he had outscored 63-39 in the middle 2 quarters. And as a matter of fact, it blows my mind. All right, so here we go. Yeah, 2 for last 24 from 3 in the second and third quarters. There was an 18-2 Portland run in the third quarter. And, it was 97-77 Portland at the end of 3. But there was a little stretch there in the fourth, right, where the Heat got it close. It was 110-103 with 2.5 minutes left. 110-103 with 2.5 minutes left. Pelle Larsson had come into the game. First minutes of action on the night, was playing pretty well. Got a steal and a beautiful job by Pelle Larsson, right? A steal and a missed layup. Now, he had just made a shot after Jaquez had scored 2 in a row. Pelle Larsson had made a nice shot there. He gets the steal, and he misses an open layup, doesn't draw the foul. He's not getting the calls. So it's 110-103. That layup at 2 minutes, 30 seconds would have made it a 5-point game, 110-105. Then what happens? The next possession, Portland takes it down the court. Just as the miss from Larsson happens, they get the rebound. Anthony Simons, who had a bunch of threes and a ton of points in this game, coming off the 24-point performance he got against Portland 11 days ago in Oregon. But Simons gets the and one, the hoop and the harm. Doesn't make the free throw, but it's 112-103. Miami, I thought there was their one chance. It was their one chance to steal it. It's 110-103. Larsson misses the layup, doesn't draw the foul. It almost looked like he got hit. If that ball goes down and they call the foul, it's 110, 105, possibly 106, and it's literally within a 2-possession game. But you know what they say, if my aunt had a you-know-what, she'd be my uncle. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of ifs. As a matter of fact, if every NFL game this year was reversed, every one-score game was reversed, the Bengals would have won their division, and so would have the New York Giants. But close doesn't count, in case you're wondering where I'm going with this. I am Jim Grieshaber. Call me Gries, G-R-I-E-S, at Jim Gries _ on social media. Give me follow, make you holla. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, absolutely. I don't either. Don't worry about it. But I will tell you this. 116-107, the Blazers beat the Heat. Even the season series at a game apiece. They don't see each other again until next season. Somehow DeAndre Ayton shoots 78% and owns the glass in this game. It's 1 out of every 5 games that he shows up. Yes, I'm ripping Ayton. Ask Suns fans about him. And Blazers fans, for that matter, this is the worst point differential team in the league, and you got smoked by them at home tonight. Just like you got smoked by Utah at home. You beat both these teams on the road, and you get smoked by both at home. Now, the Utah game was first night of Jimmy Butler's suspension, and tonight, Tyler Herro sat out with the groin, the leading scorer for your Miami Heat. Heat postcast, Jim Grieshaber. Call me Gries. A 9-point loss at home for the Miami Heat. What went right in tonight's game? Well, the first quarter and large portions of the fourth. I'll tell you what those things were, and a glimpse into the future. Me likey what me seeing tonight. And I don't know why I said it like that, but who cares? We're having fun. It's for entertainment value. It's Locked On Heat right here. Locked On Heat Postcast, I should say. Heat Postcast. There you go, the new branding. Check out Locked On Heat, by the way, and they have a newsletter every day as well. Coming up on the other side, more of the things that went right for Miami. And like I said, the glimpse into the future. And it looks so bright, you got to wear shades. Just like I do when I need to tell you about my people. Dun 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 dun. Are you ready? FanDuel, baby. From the first whistle to the final drive, FanDuel makes the NFL playoffs even more exciting. Oh, boy, I don't want to give you my real thoughts. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win your first bet. That's $300 to keep the action going. The FanDuel app is easy to navigate, and the variety of bets keeps every game exciting. Plus, when you win, you get paid instantly. No waiting around for your winnings, whether you're betting on your favorite team or just looking to add some excitement to the playoffs. FanDuel has you covered. And all you have to do to take advantage of that incredible deal, again, bet $5, get $300 in bonus bets if you win. To keep the action going, all you have to do is visit FanDuel.com to join today. Get started with the $300 in bonus bets. That's FanDuel.com. Make this playoff season unforgettable with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Gries, G-R-I-E-S, at Jim Gries _ on social media. Boy, the commando styles. Oh, my God. Can you believe that? The commanders, I know. And missed me with that commander stuff. They're the Redskins. And then you have the Eagles. Crash, Eagles, crash. I hate the Eagles. I hate the Commanders / Redskins / whatever they are and whoever they are and who cares about any of them. And then the Buffalo Bills. Are you kidding me? I was throwing up watching Mark Andrews drop that 2-point conversion pass on the heels of all the other stupid things the Ravens did in that game. You realize they did not punt in that game. The Baltimore Ravens, the one hope we had to not see another Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City win. Tyreek Hill loves that, doesn't he? All these teams that trade their superstars or get rid of their superstar playmakers and win with boring football. Josh Allen, 127 yards passing, 20-plus, barely 20 yards rushing in that game, and the Ravens cough up the football. Lamar fumbles it. Andrews fumbles it. He drops the 2-point conversion. They're dropping passes all over the field, and the Bills get lucky again. So you got Bills, Chiefs, and then you got Commanders and Eagles, and I don't know about you, Dolphins, but that is enough to make me throw the hell up. And football season's pretty much been over. I don't know how you feel. College football, Notre Dame and Ohio State, as a Canes fan, that's like choosing if you're getting a diagnosis and you know you're going to die. What do you want, Jim? Cancer or kidney disease? That's literally the equivalent of choosing between Ohio State and Notre Dame on the football field. At least for me, it is. I don't know how you feel. You should if you're any kind of a Hurricane. But, man, we got our guy in Carson Beck, and things are going to be looking up. So thanks again to FanDuel. $300 in bonus bets if you win your first $5 bet. FanDuel.com. Locked on NBA. All right, so there you have it. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, and I am, look, you got the red backlighting, heat blazed at home. You know what I mean? And half the NBA is blazed half the time anyway. It's wine and weed in the association. I know I call it like I see them. I don't work for the team. I don't work for the league. It is what it is, and it's legal, so deal with it. But I'll tell you this, heat blazed at home by Portland, and that was apropos. I like that word. It was apropos. It was really apropos because Miami got smoked. Portland scored 63 points in the second and third quarters combined, coming off a 34-point first quarter. Think about that. 34 in the first. You gave up 97 points in 3 quarters. Look, I know you couldn't shoot. You couldn't throw it in Biscayne Bay from the Kaseya Center, which, by the way, is on Biscayne Bay. So, obviously, you couldn't shoot, and Tyler was out. But it goes deeper than that, Miami. Where's this team's heart on the defensive end? And where in the blue hell is Jimmy Butler? Where's Jimmy Butler? Where is Jimmy Butler? Have you seen Jimmy? Have you seen Jimmy? Has anyone seen? Maybe he was at Snoop Dogg's performance at the Trump inauguration festivities. Maybe he was there. Maybe he was there selling out like Snoop did. I don't know. Maybe he was there because he wasn't there tonight for your Miami Heat. Look, and I'm picking on Jimmy, and I should be picking on Jimmy. He had 18 points in his first game back, had 8 in his second game back against San Antonio. A big team win. Khalil Ware's picking up the pace. Jovic is playing a lot better. Tyler's been leading the team in scoring. Where is Jimmy Butler? He's the franchise player. He's the best player on the team. He's one of the best players in the league. Where is Jimmy Butler? He says he wants to enjoy playing basketball again. How about you play then, Jimmy? How about you play? That's a good way to enjoy the game. I don't know, playing hard, stuff in the stat sheet, getting the rebounds. Like, he had 6 assists in the first half. He was all right there. Ends up with 13 points, 4 of 9 shooting in 27 minutes for a guy who's supposed to be a franchise player. And the Heat are just taking L's right now. So I'm sick of this. Jimmy and the Heat, this little tug of war, this little he said, she said, and there's no she involved. It's a he said, they said, everyone said. But what matters is this is not the Jimmy Butler we're used to seeing. If it is, I have a major source of concern if I'm any team trading for this fool right now. And I say fool because of the way he's playing, because he's playing like a fool. He is. And Jimmy Butler is a much better player than this. So he can talk about having his role minimized. He can talk about the way that he's being utilized on this team. He can talk about whatever he wants to talk about. But Jimmy Butler, the way I see it, his actions, his words, and the way that he has played very recently since coming back from the suspension, after the suspension, he's not really stating his case all that strongly now, is he? I mean, is Jimmy Butler giving you anything? If you're a team, if you're the Phoenix Suns, you're grasping at straws anyway. Bradley Beal for Jimmy Butler, Sacramento Kings, DeMar DeRozan for Jimmy Butler. 2 teams that have drastically underperformed with huge expectations, and it's a perennial thing with Phoenix. Don't get me started on the mess that Bobby the Trust Fund banker Baby Sarver left them. The racist owner, there's a racist what is it, like, accused of racism and sexism and all the hostilities of the workplace. He's a real peach. He was a gem to work for. That guy. Yeah, Robert Sarver. But the Phoenix Suns are a mess. The Kings with huge expectations. Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox has been hurt. You got DeMar. They brought him in, thinking it's going to be great with Malik Monk and that whole team. Hasn't worked out for Sacramento. But for Jimmy Butler, look, he's auditioning for every team that may trade for him right now. Or he's giving you what you're going to see the rest of the year in Miami. Now, remember, he's under contract for another year. He wanted the extension for 2 more at $56.5 million a year. The way he's played this year, the number of games he missed last year, the way he played the second half of last year, and the year before, even then, missing a ton of games, but had the playoff run in 23. Look, I love Jimmy Butler, but everywhere he's gone, Minnesota, Chicago, Philadelphia, there's been an issue. You've seen people like Stephen A. Smith say they're sick of Jimmy Butler's crap. How many GMs, how many coaches, how many owners feel the same? Do you really want to trade for this problem child if you're a contending team? No. He could upset the apple cart, spoil the whole bunch. And then what? He won't where he's traded. That's the sad thing. He'll give you the best of himself. He'll give you a great attitude once he gets what he wants, after he uncrosses his arms and after he stops sucking his thumb and sucking down the bottle or whatever else he's got, his binky, his blankie, whatever else, and he stops being a little damn baby. I said it. That's what Pat Riley wants to say. Jimmy Butler's being a baby, and babies should not be rewarded for their petulant behavior. So step it up, start playing like Jimmy Butler, show some camaraderie out there with your teammates, show that you give a crap, and maybe things will work out better for you, Jimmy, when you put the right kind of energy out there into the universe. I think that would be a good idea. But what do I know about anything? Because I don't play the game. Oh, that's what he would say, I'm sure. But he's caring more about his coffee business, charging people $100 a cup and ripping everybody off than he is. Well, actually, he's ripping the Heat off just as bad. That's a question for you on the show. We should have a poll question. What's a bigger ripoff? Jimmy Butler and his salary for the Miami Heat, or Jimmy Butler and his $100 a cup coffee in the bubble and beyond? There is a question to ponder, and I like that as we move forward. Jim Grieshaber, call me Grease, right here. Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, wherever you get your podcasts. That's Stitcher, Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, and you know where we are, Locked On Sports Miami on YouTube. Also, Locked On Sports Miami is right here where you'll find all the postcasts. I'm on after every game. Heat, Dolphins, Canes, and of course the Marlins coming up. They can't be any worse than last year when they literally supplied almost every contender with players that made big differences down the stretch. And the one team that didn't trade for any Marlins ended up winning it, which was the Dodgers, hilariously enough. But as I continue here with the show, wrapping it up, we'll have the box. Wrapping it up, we'll have the team stats. Wrapping it up, we'll look ahead to the Milwaukee Bucks and then the Brooklyn, I almost said New Jersey Nets. The Brooklyn Nets coming up after that. You live long enough, you're around long enough, things just start to run together. But I will say this. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease, G-R-I-E-S, at Jim Grease _ on social media. Be right back to wrap up the show with the box, the team stats. Of course, we got your stars of the game, your turning point, and your final score graphic. This is Heat Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And I get to tell you about Prizepicks because basketball season is heating up. The Heat were heating up in the first quarter. Don't ask me about the second and third, but with basketball season heating up, there is no better way to get real money action while watching your favorite NBA stars than with Prizepicks. Whether you're a diehard fan or just love some friendly competition, Prizepicks makes it fun and easy to turn your basketball knowledge into cash. Raise your hand if you know the game. Raise your hand if you know the game. Well, here's how it works. Pick more or less on at least two players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Think LeBron's going to drop 30 points? Or maybe Luka's getting more than 8 assists? Prizepicks lets you make your predictions and put your money where your mouth is in just 60 seconds. And how about that? I tell you all the time how much I love putting the action into the action, making what's fun even more fun, elevating the experience. I've been using Prizepicks all season, and let me tell you, I've been having a blast. Last week, I picked Jason Tatum for more than 29 points and Anthony Edwards for more than 25. Come on, money in the bank, unless Steve Kerr's the coach and they're not playing. That's the kind of action I'm talking about. And with Prizepicks Flex Pay option, even if one of my picks doesn't hit, I can still double my money. Plus, once I hit, I get my money fast right away, sometimes as quick as 15 minutes. It's honestly the best way to keep the game exciting. To stack it, baby. Stack it, jack it, rack it. Fun on top of fun. Now's the perfect time to join. Download the app today. Use the code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. That's 10x, baby. No need to win to get the bonus. It's guaranteed. Prizepicks. Run your game. Bang. Right there. Prizepicks. Gotta love that. All up on that one, guys. I get excited because I tell you every day on the show, right? Every time we do one, and we got Marlins coming up, we're going to have a ton of them. We have a Dolphins Roundtable show that we're starting right here, and that will be hosted by moi. You know what I'm saying? So we'll have a lot of fun with that as well. By the way, check out your Heat podcast, Locked On Heat podcast. Great job by the guys day in, day out. Come here after the games. Go there every other day. Because on top of everything else, they have a newsletter. The Locked On Heat daily newsletter. One stop for Ultimate Team and leave coverage delivered right to your inbox. Sign up for free now at LockedOnDaily.com. That's LockedOnDaily.com. Start your day with the all-new free Locked On Heat newsletter. Only, exclusively, just for you on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day, and tonight's show brought to you by Prizepicks. Run your game. Jim Grieshaber. Call me Gries, G-R-I-E-S, at @JimGries_ on social media. Give me a follow. Make you holla, because I'm worth more than $1. You know what I'm saying? Right here, 116-107. I don't either. I've told you that 100 times. 116-107. The Portland TrailBlazers beat the Heat at home. Look, they lost to the Jazz at home. They lost to the TrailBlazers at home. They've lost to the Magic at home. They have made a habit of losing to horrible teams at home, and now they're 500 again. 21-21, man. They can't get over 3 games over 500, and every time they do, they come right back. Couple steps forward, couple steps back. 3 steps forward, 3 steps back. Opposites attract? No, not really. Not in the case of the Miami Heat and NBA basketball. But right now, hey, it's your tomorrow, and the Miami Heat are in big trouble if one Jimmy Butler does not show up and start playing ball. Start to look engaged. Start to look enthused. Maybe he should start trying to challenge Spo to a fight in the huddle again during a timeout. At least then we saw the fire. Jimmy Butler has no fire right now. You know, for a while there in the second quarter, it looked like he was playing a little better. Had 6 assists in the second quarter, 8 rebounds, 4 assists tonight, but 13 points, only took 9 shots. When Tyler Herro's out, remember the game Kobe Bryant only took 1 shot in the second half against the Phoenix Suns, and everybody knew Kobe tanked it. Everybody knew Kobe that was the one, other than what happened in Colorado, which was complete BS and was proven to be complete BS. Other than that, the one blemish, the one stain on Kobe's resume was that second half of that clinching game for the Nash Amari D'Antoni Suns. By the way, the most overrated player in the history of the NBA, Steve Nash. How in the hell is Steve Nash a 2-time MVP when Kobe has 1 and Shaq has 1? They each have 1, but that fool has 2. I know why, and you know why. Yeah, think about it, eh? You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Think about why Steve Nash would have 2 and Shaq would have 1 and Kobe would have 1. And by the way, why Tim Duncan would have 4, Shaq 1, Kobe 1. No way Timmy was 4 times better than either one of those guys, and no way Steve Nash was twice as good as Shaq and Kobe. Rant over. Anyway, what else you going to talk about when the Heat get smoked again? 116-107. They split the season series with the Blazers and the Jazz, and they beat them both on the road. These are the games that keep you in the play-in. And that's where they've been the last couple of years. Look, they're in the play-in. And with Jimmy Butler, the last couple of years they've been in the play-in. They made that finals run in 23. They sure enough did. They did. Can't take that away from him. Jimmy's that guy. He's made that run before. But play-in 23, play-in 24. Now this year, 500 after 42 games. The season just over the midway point. And Jimmy Z. Butler and the Miami Heat are 21-21. And Jimmy's where you point the finger. That and Bam Adebayo. I mean, come on, dude. What did Bam have in the first half and then the second half? I'm going to give you this right now. This is the kind of information you only get on this show. And if you get it elsewhere, I don't know because I don't watch and you can't even prove it. So there. But no turnovers in the first half for the Blazers, by the way. 17 points for Anthony Simons in the half after he had 24 last time these two teams played. DeAndre Ayton, 14 points and 9 rebounds in the first half. Miami 0 for 12 from 3 in the second quarter, 2 for 12 from 3 in the third quarter. They led 38-34 after 1. They got outscored 62-39 after that. Portland had 3 30-point quarters in this game. Should I keep going? Ugh. Throwing up like you just went out all night in South Beach. Caught those drinks at 11s where 10s aren't hot enough to work. True story. That's why it's named 11. But here we go. Where? 20 points and 14 rebounds combined with Bam in the first half of the first game that they started together. The Towers, baby. Bam had 12 and 7 in the first half. 12 and 7 in the second half. Bam Adebayo, after scoring 12 and grabbing 7 rebounds in the first half, he finished the game with 12 points and 10 rebounds. Bam had no assists. This is a guy who's had triple doubles and been really distributing the rock this year. Bam not looking right in that second half tonight. That was something that really shocked me. They looked so good in the first half, those guys, and in the second half, not so much. Jimmy doesn't show up at all. Duncan Robinson had a big first half. In the second half, not so much. 22 points overall, though, for the Dunkmeister. 8 of 15, 6 of 12 from 3. He needs to do that when Tyler's not playing. You know what I mean? 2 of 6 from 3 for Kel'el Ware. Jovic, 2 of 8 from 3. He had 12 tonight. Jimmy Butler, 13 points, 8 assists, 4 rebounds, 4 of 9 shooting in 27 minutes for Jimmy. But think about that, 4 of 9. One of them a 3. 4 free throws for Jimmy. He needs to do more of that. Terry Rozier got awful again, 4 of 13, 9 points. At this point, you almost think you want to cut this guy. Just cut your losses or trade him. Throw him in on the Jimmy Butler deal, but the Terry Rozier to the Miami Heat scenario has not worked out. It hasn't been quite as bad as Kyle Lowry, but yeah, actually it has. It actually has. Jovic with 12. Pelle Larsson in the fourth, lighting it up with 11. Jaquez had 8 all in the fourth quarter. None for Highsmith, none for Burks. How about Highsmith? He was starting. I think he had 33 starts this year, and now he's playing like 4 minutes a game. Played 8 minutes against San Antonio. Look at Portland, though, man. Simons had 24. Ayton had 22 and 15. 16 and 10 for Avdija. But the Blazers had 7 guys in double figures on the team stat side, and we'll hit you with the players of the game, the turning point, and the final score graphic, and get out of here. Un momento, por favor. But looking at the numbers, Miami 41 of 93, Portland 43 of 87, 44% shooting for the Heat, 49 for the Blazers. 3-pointers, Miami 14 of 42. They started the game 7 of 9. They went 2 for 24 in the 2 middle quarters. So think about that. 24 and 9 is 33. So in the fourth quarter, that's 9 more, and they went 7 of 9 in the fourth and 7 of 9 in the first from 3. But in between, they were 2 of 24. I mean, it's unbelievable, right? The streaky nature of this game. Free throws, Miami only got to the line 12 times. They made 10 of them. Jimmy's got to get to the line 4 or 5 more times himself. Where is Jimmy Butler? Rebounds, assists about even, steals 2, turnovers, blocks. The Heat only forced 8 turnovers. Great job by Portland. Take care of the ball. Miami likes to be in the 12 to 14, 16 range there. Fast break points. The Blazers ran Miami off the floor 21 to 5. Points in the paint even at 46. And the largest lead, 27 for Portland, only 10 for Miami. The Heat were an 8.5-point favorite, and the total was 219.5, which the over came up and in tonight. All right, before we wrap it up, let's hit you with the graphics that we do and we love every night here on the show. And first things first, Grease, show you the final score. $116-107. There's Kel'el. Killa Kel'el. We got to give him a nickname, right? Killa Kel'el. Kel, apostrophe, L. Anyway, I'm not the nickname giver around here, but Kel'el Ware racking it right there. And he had a big night, a career high in rebounds for Kel'el, so a good job for him. And then he added a 20-point game. 20 points for Kel'el Ware to go along with the career high of 15 rebounds. Nice job for Kel'el. And then we have the number of blocks. He had 2 blocks as well. He was a +8. Oh, man. Jimmy Butler, -19. Bam Adebayo, -22. Bam, non-existent in the second half. Jimmy, not aggressive at all, passive, not looking for his offense. They lose by 9 to a god-awful team. Just terrible. They only have one player who's even 30 years old, youngest team in the league, worst point differential team in the league, smoked them on their home floor. And just like you did with Utah, you beat them in their place and you just lose to them at home. And that's terrible as the season wears on and you're back into playing because of games like this. All right. The moment where this game turned, you could pick 1,000 of them, but really Miami outscored 63-39 in the second and third quarters. There's Jimmy. Even the ref's like, Jimmy, you're going to shoot. Jimmy, where's Jimmy? I don't see you. See, the ref is like staring right through him. Where's Jimmy? Jimmy, hey, you going to shoot? Jimmy, you going to do anything? Where's Jimmy Butler? All right, I guess not. So 63-39, they're outscored in the second and third quarters combined. 2 of 24 from 3 during that time frame. Fourth quarter, they played much better. You know what I'm saying? Fourth quarter, they made that big run. They outscored the Blazers 30-19 in the fourth. And then they outscored them 38-34 in the first, but the Blazers with 34, 27, and 36 in the first 3 quarters of the game. All right, so who were the stars of the game? Simons and Ayton for the Blazers, but I'm not putting any more of those guys up there. And besides, it's a Miami Heat show. So let's give you the 2 guys who played best for Miami tonight. And the first of the 2 is the Dunkmeister. Look at him, double nickels. Duncan Robinson, 22 points. He shot 5 of 10 from 3 and he was very good tonight. Very good for Miami. And, you know, he's also underrated when it comes to passing the ball, playing in the open floor. I like Duncan a lot. So Duncan Robinson, one of your stars of the game, and our other star of the game, we've said his name 100 times tonight. He's on the screen behind me, throwing it down, as Dr. Jack used to say, with the slammer, with the stuffer. Khalil Ware, the rookie from Indiana, 20-16 tonight, a career high in boards, and look at him flying through the air at 7-1. He had a couple of threes, he had 2 blocks, and he was fantastic. Now, that said, he didn't do a lot against DeAndre Ayton tonight, and Bam Adebayo is non-existent again in the second half, but a great job by Khalil tonight. Where was Khalil? We don't have to answer that question like we do Jimmy Butler, and in the second half, Bam Adebayo, after he played a really good first half. But I like what I've been seeing with these two guys on the court together, taking a lot of that pressure off the 6'9" Bam Adebayo, the superstar and Olympian that he is, to, you know, just be more free and not have to be against 7-footer every second of every game as a 6'9" guy. And on top of that, take some more big guys up top. But with Bam's newfound playing the 4, with Khalil playing the 5 or whatever, you now have Bam in a position at 6'9" where he could get more mismatches and advantages for himself down in the post against guys who are smaller than the ones he's used to being guarded by. And then he can still take them out up top because he's still a little bit smaller and more athletic than a lot of the 4s in the league. He can still take them outside and do things athletically, hit some shots from the perimeter as well. And in the second half, he didn't seem to want to do anything, just like Jimmy Butler. So confusion, I'm confounded all the way around, but I'm not confounded by the final score, 116-107. Portland with a win, 15-28 for the Blazers on the season. The Heat fall to 21-21, and with the game coming up on Thursday against Milwaukee, and the Bucks could find themselves below 500, and they haven't been below 500 this season, other than when they lost opening night to Orlando. So here you have it, Heat fans. Yeah, and the Bucks are, by the way, in New Orleans. How about the snow in New Orleans, Atlanta, San Antonio, parts of northern Florida? What the hell is going on in this world? They say it's global warming. Well, global warming doesn't make it snow where it's hot, but yes, it kind of does. I'm not a scientist. Who cares? I don't care. I care about sports. 116-107. The Blazers beat the Heat, and that's all there is, Heat fan. There is no more. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button. The numbers are going up, baby. They're going up, as well as hit that bell so you get the alerts when you know we're coming at you with some more content. Like, share, engage in the chat, and have some fun with us there, as well as give me a follow, make you holler, at @JimGries_GRIES on social media. I am Jim Grieshaber. Call me Grease. Thanking you profusely for being here. As always, you're the best part of this network. We're free every day right here on the YouTube Locked On Sports Miami and wherever you get your podcasts, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart, chief among them. Chief among them. No doubt about it. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Heat fan.